A lot of us are trying to grow our own food, our own little backyard pharmacy, but this heat is making it feel impossible. We're talking 104 degrees these past 7 days. Most plants are struggling out here, but the ones I'm covering today, I barely watered this week and they are thriving. Here are 7 medicinal plants that do not mind this summer heat. And do me a favor, keep score. Every plant you already grow, give yourself a point. Tell me the number in the comments, and I want to see who has a backyard pharmacy and don't even realize it. Quick reminder before we start, these are plants with a long history of traditional use. I am sharing how they are commonly used and how I grow them, not telling you to replace your doctor. And what I love about these 7 plants, every single one of these can grow in pots, so you have no excuse to grow them in a balcony, small backyard, in any space, it don't matter. So this plant that's sitting right behind me that's sitting in a pot is the leaf of life. Everybody thinks the leaf of life is just a cough plant. It does way more. One of the biggest traditional uses is supporting people with kidney stones. In Ayurvedic medicine, it is even called stone breaker or stone dissolver because of the reputation. On the skin, it works as a poultice. So you crush the leaf and you can put it right on a cut or a burn or a boil or a bug bite. This is one of those plants people walk outside for. There's 2 ways you can use it. You can use it as tea, so basically steep the leaves in hot water in small amounts. Or you crush the leaf and you can put it right on the skin. So I grow them in pots and raised beds, and I have some growing in the ground because of my space. But if your space is limited and you don't want this plant popping up everywhere, it is best to keep them in pots because it can keep going. A single leaf can drop, and once it drops and touches the soil, it grows another plant. It is cool that way, but it's also depending on your space. So this one is not an everyday tea. It contains compounds that can affect the heart and blood pressure. So if you have heart issues, or if you take heart or blood pressure medicine, or pregnant or breastfeeding, talk to your doctor first. Number 2 is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is a stress plant. So this is an adaptogen, which basically means it helps the body handle stress. So a lot of people take this at night to wind down. It works with stress and sleep. Because those 2 things work together, this plant handles them both. You also see it in a lot of workout supplements because people use it to support strength and recovery and endurance. The part that you actually use is not the leaf itself or not the seeds themselves, it's the roots underground. So you'll grow it, you dig it up, and then you grind it into a powder for tea or for capsules. My husband did a full video on ashwagandha if you want to learn more. For the summer, it is very easy. It loves this heat and sun. It loves the drainy soil, and it also don't mind being in pots. You don't want to overwater it, so just let it dry in between watering and it will take off and do fine. It can be a slow starter, especially if you're starting from seed, but once it takes off, it keeps going. Now again, you don't use this if you are breastfeeding or taking any medication for thyroid, liver, or autoimmune issues, or if you're already taking something that makes you sleepy, because it will make you drowsy. This next one is aloe vera. This is a plant that I actually forget is in my yard because I don't really do much as far as watering and feeding it. It takes care of its own. Everyone knows aloe for sunburns, but it does so much more than that. The gel actually helps skin heal, not just cool down. So whether you have a burn or cut, dry skin or eczema, because it brings the inflammation down. The one thing that I learned doing my research with aloe is that it is actually good for your mouth. Aloe has been showing up in mouthwash and toothpaste because it calms inflamed gums and helps with plaque. So if your gums are just irritating or angry, aloe has been used for that as well. It's also good for your scalp and hair, especially if you have dry or flaky hair. You can definitely use aloe to help with that. What you basically would do is cut a thick outer leaf near the base, let that yellow sap drain for about a minute, because if you don't, it's going to just cause your hair to be very irritated and itchy. And then slice it and open it and scoop out the clear gel. On skin, you're basically going to use a thin layer on the spot that you want to heal and let it absorb. On hair, it works on your scalps and on your ends, so you can leave it about 15 to 30 minutes. Rinse it out before you wash it, or some people mix it in with their conditioner too. For summer, guys, do not overwater it like a tomato. It stores water in those thick leaves, so too much water can cause it to rot. And if you're going to put it in a pot, just make sure it has good drainage and it dries in between watering. For this video, I am talking about using it on your skin and your hair. The clear inner gel is eaten in some cultures after it's carefully prepared, but the yellow latex should never be eaten because that is the part that causes a lot of stomach problems. Whether you're using it on your skin or your hair, just make sure you do a patch test on a small spot first before you just go all in with your hair or your skin. Honestly, this is probably the plant you will use the most. I talk about it in every medicinal video because it needs to be known. Number 4 is Moringa. I have Moringa growing in pots, in the ground, in raised beds. We have it everywhere in our backyard. Moringa is food and medicine at the same time, and that's why we're growing it in so many different places. It is one of the most nutrient-dense greens you can grow. Vitamins, minerals, protein packs into little leaves. It is called the miracle tree for a reason. It is naturally rich in iron, along with vitamins and minerals, which is one reason so many people grow it. So if you're running low on iron, like I was, or you just feel like you just run down and tired, this is the plant that people reach for. When I had my second or third baby, I used Moringa because I was nursing. It is traditionally known to support milk production. It has also been looked at for blood sugar and cholesterol. The best way that I use it is I can eat it fresh off of the tree, or you can cook the fresh leaves like greens. So you drop them in soups, or you can dry them to make powders or teas, or sprinkle a little bit in your food just near the end of cooking because you don't want to burn the actual good stuff. So start small because the flavor is so strong and it is really green. So for summer, guys, it loves this heat. I haven't seen it flinch because of these hot days. I am not making it, but Moringa, don't mind it. You can cut it back if it starts to get very tall because it can get to a point where you can't reach it. So you can cut it back and it grows out more as a bush. And again, you can grow these in pots. If you're up north and you want to grow it, just treat it as an annual, and when the winter comes, it'll just die and you just grow another one. It grows that quick, guys. You can still get benefits from it up north. So safety thing is stick to the leaves and the pods, not so much the root or the bark. I do use the flowers for teaing, but again, it all depends on your body. If you are pregnant and breastfeeding, I know I mentioned it for milk production. Just again, know your health and speak to your doctor before you start using any of this. So number 5, I just finished harvesting, is elderberries. Oh my goodness, when I say there's a plant that don't require much from you, it's this. It grows very wild here in Florida. Elderberry is a cold and a flu plant. This is really what it's known for. It's probably one of the better studied plants on this list. It has been looked at for shortening how long a cold or flu drags on and easing those symptoms. These beautiful purple berries are packed with antioxidants, which is one reason why elderberries get so much attention. My biggest tip is it works best when you start it early. You know when your toddler walk by and sneeze right in your face? That's when you take this. Don't wait till 3 days in and you're feeling terrible and you're like, oh, it didn't work for me. You need to start it on the moment you think you're about to get sick. So you basically cook the berries down into a syrup or a tea or a jelly. Never try it raw. I know there's people that do, like my husband. That have a sensitive stomach. It didn't work for me because I'm gonna give you my 2-second warning on this. The first time I made it, I had the worst headache and felt so sick. It took me a while to figure out it was caused by this because I didn't remove the stems and I drank this thing like it was juice. I had so much of it. And that is not what you need to do. You got to remove every little stem on this, which takes patience, but you have to strip the berries clean off before it goes into a pot. The best way you can do that, you can freeze the clusters first and then they'll pop right off, or you can run a fork down the cluster and they'll pop off. So a lot of people cook the berries down on the simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes. I'm gonna do it longer. I don't want that problem again. So basically, guys, start small and know which varieties you have. My one grow note on this, I have 2 in my yard. They are getting water whenever it rains, so they are very drought tolerant. But if you're growing them and you're just getting them started, you want to keep them watered while they're young, mulch them, and after that they handle their own in this Florida heat. So I do have some growing in pots as well. You just want to make sure the pot is big enough because they can grow into a full shrub. So just keep in mind, this is not something Unless it's flu season, it's not something you take out every day. Keep it frozen, and when you're ready to use it, you just pull it out and you make your own syrup. They cost way too much. These elderberry gummy, elderberry syrup, they ain't cheap, but this tree is. So save you coins, save you some money, and grow your own. So this next one, I think, has been one that I typically forget about because it's growing in the front yard, is Vicks Plant. It is the one you smell before you see it. It is lovely to me. So it is good for congestion. It is a congestion plant. You crush the leaf and breathe it in, and when you are stuffy, you can boil some of the leaves to open up your nose and your chest. It is so refreshing. I don't know, so it's so calming, it's so cooling. I would love to have it going through the house all day. It's great to have, especially when you're not feeling well. So mostly the plant is used to smell it and steam it. Some people also rub a crushed leaf on a small cut or bug bites as a traditional remedy. That is really it. You're not going to use it like you use mint tea. It's easy to grow. When I say easy, I gave it to one of my close friends, and she had it sitting in this water bottle, and she never planted it, and that thing just kept going. She didn't garden a single day in her life. She just wanted a piece of the plant. So when I say it's easy to grow, you don't need to have any garden experience to grow this plant. Because it acts like a succulent, you can pot it. So just pot it with drainage, bright light, and let it dry in between watering. It roots very easy from cuttings. Just protect it during the cold because it will go. We lost ours in the front and had to get another one. We forgot to protect it. So just don't eat it. You smell it, you steam it, grow it, share your cuttings, and keep it out of your teas and smoothies. So number 7, I did a previous video on medicinal plants, and you guys came for me. My Caribbean people came for me. How dare you not mention this one? So this one is for my Haitians, my Caribbean. Also called bitter melon, is the blood sugar plant. Not just for us, the whole world uses bitter melons for this. Caribbeans, Chinese, Indian medicine all reach for it. The plant contains a compound researchers believe can influence blood sugar, which is why it has been used traditionally for generations. When I mean my grandma would reach for this plant every chance she got. I did not look forward to it. Every time I seen that thing coming in from outside, I ran. I ain't gonna lie. That taste is bitter. It is also a digestion plant. So traditionally people drink the bitter tea to support digestion, and it is known to just clear you out. So most of the time people use it for tea. So you just wash the leaves, steep it, or boil them in water, and you drink it bitter. For summer, it is a beast back here. It is a heat-loving vine. So just make sure you give it somewhere to climb, a trellis, a fence, a cattle panel, it doesn't matter. Just give it somewhere to climb because it can take over your entire space. You can probably find it on a fence somewhere. Any Caribbean backyard, they have it in a fence growing. You'll see it. Because it affects your blood sugar, it can interact with any medication. So if you're diabetic or pregnant or breastfeeding, talk to your doctor before using it. This ain't the plant to just do everyday teas. My grandma didn't care. Pregnant or not, she's gonna give it to you. I still have nightmares on this tea. This tea has, when I say there's one tea in my childhood that stuck out for me, whether you were sick, not sick, studying for an exam and you needed help, you had a cut on your, it didn't matter. They would grab this tea. It reminds me of, what's the Haitian word I'm looking for? It's like Louis de Masque tea. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's basically a Haitian castor oil that they put on everything and think they cures everything. That's the same equivalent for Aloe, in my personal opinion. It was always in our kitchen. It was always in our backyard. And hey, I never took Tylenol as a kid, so shows you that. I don't know if it needs something to say. And I had perfect attendance at school. I didn't miss not one day from elementary to high school. So that would show you right there it worked. All right, guys, there it is. 7 plants that shrug off this heat, that actually do something for you, and you don't have to work hard to keep it alive. So what was your score? Drop it below. Let me know who has a backyard pharmacy. And it might not be the plants that I'm talking about. Share some other plants that you're growing that love this heat. We're all trying to make it out here in this garden, and this heat is not helping. So if you have some that I didn't mention on this video, put it in the comments below. We are helping each other out. So if you want a full list of plants that thrive down here and survive in this heat, check out my Florida Grow list. Over 50 plants that won't let you down. The link is in the description below. You can find it wherever you buy your books. Until next time, guys, let me go take care of my elderberries. Oh my goodness. So let me go take care of these elderberries and get them ready for school season. It is coming up. So This one has to be in your kitchen. Before you go, I get asked all the time, where did you get that? Or what do you use in your garden? I linked all of my favorite tools, products, and garden finds in my Amazon store, so be sure to check that out. And if you're looking to grow even more, grab a copy of my book at rootedinjays.com. It is packed with all of the lessons I wish someone had shared with me when I first started gardening. And you guys know this backyard didn't happen overnight. It took time, patience, and a whole lot of trial and error. So if you're dreaming of finding a home where you can build your own backyard oasis, I'll be honored to help you buy or sell your next home. And if you're enjoying what comes out of this garden, come hang out with me over on Toni Meals at YouTube, where I share some of my favorite recipes. And finally, to everyone who supported this channel through YouTube memberships or Patreon, thank you. Your support helps me create videos like this. And if you'd like to join our community, I'd love to have you. As always, stay rooted, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, you still here? So since you stayed, here's 2 things about aloe that no one really tells you about. I learned the hard way. 1, it can actually leave your hair feeling really dry. Sounds backwards, I know, but if you leave fresh aloe gel on too long or use it by itself, it dries down and it can leave your hair feeling very stiff. So make sure you rinse it out and then follow it up with some type of conditioner or a little bit of oil to help lock in that moisture. Number 2, fresh aloe gel does not last very long, so it is not shelf stable like the bottle kind. So once you scoop it out, it is best to use it right away or keep it in the fridge for a day or 2 at most. So don't go out there cutting 5 leaves thinking you're set for the week. You will be disappointed. All right, now go outside. You know what? Don't even go outside. It's hot right now. Go outside before 10 a.m. and after 6 p.m. to take care of your garden. Bye.